This video is shot exclusively on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday. Got a fresh cup of coffee here. It is currently about 10 a.m. Got up this morning around 6, got Arlo taken care of, and the wife has him for the rest of the day. So today we are settling in and we are knocking out some work. So told you guys over the weekend, it was my weekend for Arlo to let Sam, my wife, get things done around the house, take care of some things. So the weekend was nice and relaxing, spent some time with my son, and it was amazing. But now it's time to get back to work. So we have a lot to do. But today I want to talk about the little things and how the little things add up to generate this massive amount of momentum. So many people skip the little things in their business, and because of that, they can't seem to get the traction on where they want to go, and ultimately they fail. So why do the little things matter so much? Today, that's what we're going to talk about. All right, so one of the first things that we can dive right into on why the small things matter, I want you to think about a business where you have 5 clients. Each client has 6 content pages, social networks. Each page has its own separate video. Each video or post has its own specific guidelines, whether filming, photos, descriptions, color for branding, okay? Imagine all of that. Now, imagine that none of that is in a place or location where you can vividly see it and know what it is that you have to film. That is a lack of organization. Lack of organization in your business. What people think is such a small thing will literally sink you and fail you before you have even began. It is impossible to run a highly successful or even successful business without proper organization. There will be so many things that are going on and so many things that need to be placed in specific locations and spots. One of those that you miss could be detrimental. Maybe it's a spelling mistake because you were rushed, because you didn't check your captions, because your captions on one end were not already verified through your system. And that will lead into another part that we talk about later, which is systems. What people think are small things add up to be monumental things. The little things really do matter. All right, so let's talk about what we need to knock out today in the business. Yesterday, had a very bad Monday. A day that's normally one of my most productive of the week did not end up where it needed to be. My wife had a doctor's appointment in the morning, so I had Arlo, and then at night she had church, so I had Arlo. So that only left me a few hours in the afternoon. I got a little bit done, but not enough, so I have a pretty busy day today. It's now 12:30, so that's just a little time update for you. So the big thing that I have today is I gotta finish getting approval for the TikTok shop page that I'm working on for one of my clients. The video for the first video for the TikTok shop is created, but I got to get approved through TikTok. So once that's done, we'll upload the video, get that going. I have to run through my content scheduling for the content for next week for my clients, and ultimately really focus on working with my new client. So I just signed a new client a couple days ago, and I really got to go through everything. I've got to learn and understand their exact business and what their goals are, because I can't market and I can't put content out on a business that I don't know about. So I need to study the business. I need to understand what we're trying to exactly accomplish. That way I know where leads are going to go. I know what clients we're trying to target. I know what our perfect client looks like. I know what content to build around the perfect client. There's so much that goes into getting a new client. So basically I need to study and research my client to make sure that everything is ready to go. So next week when we start actually filming and doing content, I know where it's heading. And then lastly, I need to finish up the newsletter that I was working on for my real estate client. Should have been up on Friday, but we're behind because we're focusing on a few different things right now. So got to finish the newsletter. So that's currently what my to-do list looks like. I'm probably going to head out here in the next couple of minutes, head over to 7-Eleven, get the wife something to drink, get myself something to drink, kind of just get out of the house for a little bit. It's going to pour here too. And then I also need to stop at Walgreens, pick up some of her medicine. Once we get back, I need to prep and get ready for my 2 p.m. meeting with one of my clients. We're going to a property and we're taking photos and videos of this property for listing and for marketing. So I need to make sure that I know the property, where it's at. Need to make sure what we're focusing on is right. To get together with Kevin, get this property knocked out, and then once I get home, edit the content, get the content out, and then of course post listing photos. So that's kind of what the rest of our day looks like. So that's really all we're going to go into today, really about business, because the rest of this I kind of want to really focus on, again, the little thing. All right, so we're home. It's about almost 2, so we've got to quickly get changed and head over to my meeting with Kevin so we are able to get this property taken care of. This is a pretty regular routine thing. Normally we do multiple properties in a day, where we're doing 3, 4, 5 in a day, knocking them all out at once, one time a week. Or 2 times a week, but because this one's kind of a high priority, owner really wants to get it done now, we are making an exception. So today it's just one property. So gonna get dressed, head out to meet Kevin, and knock this out. All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about, why the small things matter, is systems. When you first start, a lot of people just jump right in and they have no systems created. If you don't have a system, you don't have a process. And if you don't have a process, you don't have a business. If you were to die tomorrow or today, who would be able to run your business if you were not able to teach them or train them on what they should be doing? Systems that are good, that are in place, you don't need to train anyone, because they can jump right in, see what you have already established, and be able to execute. A perfect example of a system is McDonald's. You can go to any McDonald's anywhere in the country. You can order the same thing, and no matter whether you get that in LA, in Miami, or in New York, they're all made the same. That is a system, and that is how they train their employees under a system or under a process. So people jump in not realizing that they don't need systems and they don't need a process, and then they try to grow too quickly, and then ultimately it leads to them crashing and failing, because they then become so disorganized, remember point 1, that ultimately leads them to failure. So you need organization and you need systems. These are small things that add up together to be big things, and without those, you might fail. I say might because there's always the odd man out. All right, so we made it, and currently taking photos of this property. Property is absolutely gorgeous. Check out this backyard though. Like, I feel like you're in like a tropical oasis. It's an absolutely beautiful property, beautiful backyard. Here with Kevin. Took us about 30-40 minutes to get here, and we will be back around probably 4-ish, and then I should be home by maybe around 5 o'clock after I run some errands. So that's kind of the update. But I wanted to ask Kevin, what he thought about the little things. So let's go in and let's ask Kevin what he thinks about the little. All right, so Kevin, I have a question to ask you. In your experience with business, okay, the little things, how much do the little things matter in business?
The little things, they matter a lot. It's like walking into a house and seeing it all nice and clean, walking in a bedroom, seeing it nice and orderly, everything just right, and the toilet seats up. That's the little thing. Put that toilet seat down when you do pictures. Um, when you're walking into it, you want to make sure that the beds are made, toilet seats are down, and you've got light in all the rooms. All those little things really do make a difference. It shows better, and you feel good showing it because you know you've got lights on, you know you've done everything right. And my biggest pet peeve, not being repetitive, is put that toilet seat down.
Gotta reiterate it.
You know how many pictures are out there and MLS and Zillow that shows a toilet seat up. It's just not the right thing. All right, have a great afternoon, y'all. God bless.
Put that toilet seat down. So it's the next day, and yesterday went exactly as I basically said. Got home, edited, got a little bit more done, and then Dad passed out on the couch because I was done. Super long day, a ton of work being done. I literally fell asleep at like 8 p.m. So that takes us to today. Here we are. I just finished editing up to this part in the video, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about the little things. So the reason why, to the overarching thing here as we bring this together for the little things, the reason why the little things are so important is because if you don't have the little things, yes, you are more likely to fail. But if you don't have those little things, you are unable to be able to put multiple projects together to get to your ultimate goal. So for me, I have these massive goals, right? Like the first goal I've already met. I have worked for myself now for going on 9 years as a professional videographer, as someone who runs their own media business. I respond to no one. I am my own boss. That was goal number one. I've accomplished that. Now, the next goal for me, I've talked about this before. I want to retire by the time I'm 35. That means I have 5 years. So without the little things present, I would not be able to do multiple things like I currently do. So as I mentioned before, I own multiple businesses. They're not all active because certain businesses are in certain stopping points, right? Because I'm waiting for something else to get to a certain point before moving on to the next one. But for me, the little things create this pedestal. If retirement by 35 is here. Now, when I say retirement, what I mean by that is I am not in the day to day. I have people running things where I need them to be able to run my businesses without me being in the day to day business. That is what I mean by retirement, to the point where it's all passive income. That is my retirement goal. That's 5 years. So I have the media business. Right now, the media business is structured under one thing: make money for my current lifestyle, where I'm at in Florida with my wife, where we live, what we do, our bills. This media business supports this lifestyle. But the retirement aspect comes from the next pillar, which is the real estate. So because I'm able to work for myself, because I'm able to make my own schedule, because I know that my bills and everything are handled by my media business, that allows my extra time to be given to my real estate business. Myself, my partner, we then use the income from real estate to then build this passive lifestyle that we're trying to get to for ourselves and our family. Talked about this before. It's Section 8 real estate. That is what I did in Miami for a year. I learned a ton. Now I'm doing it on my own. And honestly, it's been way better because that's a different story. So without that organization, without those little things, without those systems in place, I would not be able to run another business on top of this. And that's just two businesses. We actually have three more, this being one of them as well. Without those systems in place, I don't have the ability to stack. So stacking these things together is allowing me to be able to ultimately hit my end goal of retirement by the time I'm 35. If I didn't have those little things, I would not be able to run the real estate business. I would not be able to work on the other ventures that I'm able to do because of the little things. Now, if you don't care about the little things and you just want to run business and it is just a business for side money and you have no plans on growing or making it your passion or your future, fine. You don't need the little things, okay? But this is for people who are looking to take their business to the next level. And for me, I'm still trying to get this media business to the next level. I'm not pushing as hard on media because ultimately, to me, this is not my end goal, especially because when I get to a certain point, I'm just going to sell this media business off. My goal is to sell it probably close to $1 million. I want to have that much worth in this business with my clients, with my gear, with the systems, with my employees. So if I can go 4 or 5 years and then sell this off for $1 million, that's great. So systems still apply to this business as well. So with all that being said, I'm going to end the video right here. I got to get working on the next vlog, which is going to be filmed today. So that's what I'll be doing right now. And then I've got a whole bunch of myriad of other work to do because today is another very, very long work day. But with that being said, if you guys like these raw behind the scenes vlogs of my business, then please hit subscribe. This is a community built program and platform. I say program, I meant platform. This is all about you and me. This is not about me. I share with you what I do, whether the good things, the bad things, the positive things, the negative things, so you guys can see what it's like to be a dad, to be a business owner, a multiple business owner, to be a husband, to be a son, and overall live life. These are not masterpieces of Netflix craft. That's not this channel. That is a different channel that I'm working on behind the scenes. But for this, these are supposed to be daily raw vlogs showcasing the business and the life of what I do on a day-to-day basis. I want your guys' input down below. What do you like? What do you not like? Do you have thoughts? Do you have opinions? Do you have comments? Like the video, subscribe so you guys don't miss the next video, which will be tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. Peace out, and remember, you create your own story.